Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. It's already week 4 of our training and can't believe it, but yeah, we'll do a brief rundown of week 4. Jason's going to do that. A couple things with tip of the day. Last week we talked about motivation, and this week we're going to give you guys a new tip. Also, answer questions that you've had, and I know a couple of people have already asked us about a few things with our BikeErg, and so I'll go ahead and answer the questions that you guys have. And feel free to, if you have any other questions about what we do for our training, definitely include those questions in the comment section below. Also, last week we talked about our workout, and I do have some corrections to go through with that. And last but not least, we're still doing a DJI promotion, which is $10 off. So if you're interested, definitely hang on to the end of the video and we'll give you more information about that.
So week 4 was basically a progression of week 3. There were 2 workouts that we did during the week, another threshold workout and a map efforts workout. Both of those were pretty similar to week 3, except that the duration of the workouts was longer, so there was a little bit more volume. The workout that we did for our endurance ride this weekend was actually, it was in the training plan, it was 2 separate workouts. It was about 1 hour of zone 2, like an upper zone 2 interval with lower zone 2 recovery. But since that was pretty low intensity and it was almost all in zone 2, we combined that with the 4th workout of the week, which was 2-hour zone 2 steady state ride. So we combined those 2 on Saturday and did a 3-hour ride. I felt like week 4 was a nice progression off of week 3. For whatever reason, we both felt that the 2 workouts during the week, the map efforts and the threshold, we felt were actually a little easier than week 3, even though it was a little bit more volume. So maybe that's just a case of week 3 preparing us for week 4. The endurance ride that we did on Saturday, that was quite an accomplishment for me, at least personally, because the distance that it ended up being, I mean, we've done rides outdoors that lasted, 3 or 4 hours, but, we're probably taking more breaks and things like that. And the longest outdoor ride that I had done previously was about 42 miles. This workout on the BikeErg, the kilometers, 79 and a half kilometers. If I convert that to miles, it's about 49 miles. So that was the longest ride that I've ever done, indoors or outdoors. And that was, that was pretty much week 4. I think we both feel pretty good at the end of the week, even though we did do that 3-hour ride on Saturday. We both recovered pretty nicely from it. It definitely helped to do foam rolling immediately after the workout. Toward the end of that workout, my legs were pretty much blown up. I mean, everything was achy, pretty much every muscle in my legs. But after doing a little bit of foam rolling immediately afterward, that pain went away, and then it just became kind of a tiredness.
Yeah, so adding on to the endurance ride that we did yesterday, initially I was going to do 2 hours and 45 minutes, but the prescribed duration was 3 hours and 4 minutes. And so I decided that there's a lot of mental game, I guess, that comes along with endurance or any endurance sports that you go into. And so I thought, well, this would be a good mental test to do this long 3-hour ride on the trainer. And so yes, it was painful. Yes, it was a challenge, but it felt good to complete the full 3 hours instead of cutting the duration down to 2 hours and 45 minutes. Doing this in low zone 2, or zone 2 is within that zone 2 range, is definitely manageable, when you think of a long ride indoors, because I was able to kind of scale back if it was too painful. I thought of, I actually started increasing the damper settings on the BikeErg, and that was a bit too taxing for my legs. So I would lower the damper setting down. So I was playing around with the damper setting. I think I might have, well, this is probably as a result of riding for 2 hours and you're constantly spinning, whereas when you're outdoors, you can just coast. But I did feel a little pain on my left hip this morning. Other than that, I felt great. Jason actually asked me this morning how I felt, and I said I felt really good, and actually considered running outside, but I wanted to maintain that discipline of following the training plan. Also, just so you know, I'm still doing the strength workouts. I know it's not listed on our previous videos. Strength training is still a part of the training plan, and we still continue to follow it. I've had to modify some of the duration of the strength, or just modify the type of workouts I do during my strength and conditioning phase, because it does get repetitive after a while of doing it. So I have had to modify the routine a bit so that it's more enjoyable for me. So this week's tip is how to get up early in the morning to do a workout. And I know you're all excited about this topic because you're all probably like, yeah, we all wake up early in the morning to do this workout. Just kidding. So before we actually talk about the how, let's talk about the benefits. And I guess we can only speak for ourselves and how it benefits us. And so the number one thing that it benefits us is that ensures that it gets done. So waking up in the morning, you really get to do the workout. You try not to make excuses, but if you're really crunched for time, and this is how we wake up in the morning, sometimes we get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do a 4 a.m. workout. That's because we have to take the dogs out and just kind of warm up, and that takes time. So we actually start our workout at 4 o'clock. And so we think that getting up in the morning definitely gets the work done. And after work, you might feel like you're tired and you end up making excuses. And so definitely getting up in the morning ensures that your workout does get done and that you're done for the day. Another benefit to working out in the morning is the release of these feel-good neurotransmitters. I don't want to get into details of them, but dopamine, right? Dopamine is what makes you feel good when you accomplish something. And if you like the workout that you do, you feel good. And especially if you do it in the morning, that's one thing that you've accomplished so far in the morning that could be pretty challenging for you. The third benefit of working out in the morning is that you have the ability, if you are fasting, you have the ability to work out fasted. And I've had many benefits to working out fasted in the morning. In the past, when I started my fitness journey, I was 152 pounds. Since then, I've lost about 17 pounds. I am now at 135. And so fasted workouts definitely do work. Try to do it fasted if it is a kind of a low intensity workout, which most of my morning workouts are fairly low intensity. So now Jason's going to talk about how to wake up early in the morning.
One key thing, if you're going to work out first thing in the morning, is to keep the workout fairly short in duration. Number one, because that'll make it so that you don't have to get up quite as early. You know, if you do a 2-hour workout, then you start having to get up really, really early, and then that could become challenging. If you keep your workout to somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes, then you can probably just get up, maybe an hour or two earlier than what you're accustomed to. So try to keep the workout short if you can, and make sure that. Second thing is to make sure that the workout is enjoyable. Some type of format that you really enjoy doing. If that's intervals, then do intervals. If you really like strength training, then do that first thing in the morning. If it's something that you really enjoy doing, then you're going to look forward to it regardless of what time of day it is. And once you get in the habit of waking up early, you'll find that you really look forward to that workout, and doing that workout kind of charges you up for the day, makes you feel good, and makes you feel like you're energized for the day. And then a third tip for working out early in the morning is to, and this is especially if you do it fasted, we would recommend to drink a little bit of coffee. Doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a huge mug of coffee, but even if I find that even a few sips of coffee, if I'm fasted, it energizes me enough where I can get through the workout, especially if it's a shorter one. And then I would just add to those three things. This one may be kind of obvious, but if you're going to try getting up early to work out, make sure you get to bed a little bit earlier. So whatever amount of time you're getting up earlier, if you're getting up 1 or 2 hours earlier to do a workout, try to go to bed or get in the habit of going to bed 1 or 2 hours earlier as well, because it is really important to get a full night of sleep. We don't want to make it sound like you should just sacrifice sleep to work out in the morning. What we would recommend is to try to readjust your sleeping schedule so that you're going to bed a little earlier and then waking up a little bit earlier. That way you're still well rested, but you can fit that workout in before work, especially if you're someone who works during the daytime hours, then fitting that workout in before work will, getting back to Joy's number one benefit of working out in the morning, is to make sure that it gets done. And so if you do work during the day, then adjusting your sleep and wake schedule to get that workout done first thing is definitely going to help you out.
If you do drink coffee and you work out fasted, we recommend drinking black coffee. Adding creamer or sugar can spike your blood sugar and could potentially disrupt the fasting period. So drink black coffee. And I typically drink an 8-ounce cup of coffee in the morning, and that usually helps to fuel me for the workout. Also with sleeping, we do get to bed fairly early, so you might need to do that if you want to get a full 8 hours of sleep, which again, every source that I've read recommends a full 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours, even more of sleep to properly recover from these workouts. The next thing we want to do is answer some of the questions that you have, and I'll go over the first question, which we'll do one question per week because we only have had a couple of questions lately under the comments section. So the first question is from Jordy, and Jordy says, "Hi Joy, I'm interested about accuracy on the power readings of the concept bike compared with your Assiomas power meter. On the other hand, how your BFTP or base FTP, I assume, calculated on Zwift with the ERG correlates with the one on your road bike in case you had compared both. Many thanks from Catalunya." My response to that is it's not really an apples to apples comparison when you are comparing power meter pedals to the Concept BikeErg power meter, because the Concept 2 BikeErg, the power is being generated from the flywheel. I know that with a power pedal, it's the amount of force that you apply on the pedals themselves. And so it's not really a similar comparison. It's like comparing a crank arm power meter to a power pod, like the Velocomp, I think, makes power pod to power pedals. So you can't really compare the two on how accurate, but you can definitely go by the precision. So my suggestion and what I have read and seen and watched from other sources out there from people who are veteran riders is that you train with consistency. We are still doing the DJI promotion that we mentioned in the past or in the last video. So if you are interested in any DJI products, I know we currently have 2 of the Osmo Actions. One is filming us right now. We are planning on getting a DJI Mavic Mini for when we travel and want to get some cinematic B-roll on the outdoors. So if you're interested in $10 off DJI product, they do make, like I said, drones, action cameras. They have an Osmo Pocket, which is good for if you are running and you're vlogging while you're running. It's small enough and lightweight enough for you to be able to do that. They also make robots. I just saw that on their website. But yeah, so if you're interested in purchasing any of their products, you can click on the link in the description below on how to get $10 off a DJI product. Jason will talk about our week 5 next.
Yeah, so week 5 is looking to be pretty tough, and let me just say that I can't wait for it. I love tough workouts, and I think there's several of them in week 5. There's four bike workouts. The first one is called sub-threshold low cadence efforts, and basically that's just the purpose of that workout is supposedly to build leg strength for cycling. The second workout is another map efforts. We'll give you the details next week after we do it, but it's basically going to be longer duration efforts, so it's going to be more challenging. And then the third workout is another sub-threshold workout, which is basically zone 3. The 4th and final workout is a 2-hour and 15-minute endurance ride.
Also, I know last week we talked about how we were going to go for a ride outside yesterday. We had a snowstorm, so we had to cancel that ride, and the morning temperatures were frigid. So that's why we decided to ride indoors for 3 hours, in case you're all wondering. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in for this week's recap. We both hope to see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.